Well, welcome and thank you for having me and welcoming me into your space today. The University of Windsor is a place where you will truly thrive. We are a small university, about 17,000 students, but we are in a great location. And I really think that our strength is our people, and I want to invite you all with me on such a wonderful journey with us. Before I begin, I always like to talk about this word on the screen, the word thrive. And I think we can all agree that thriving is more about more than just getting by or getting through one day at a time. It's about growing, blossoming, reaching for your goals, and achieving your full potential. And here at the University of Windsor, we are committed to helping our students thrive in every aspect of their lives. So my name is Tracy, and I'm part of the student recruitment team at the University of Windsor. My specialty is assisting international students. So for students that have completed some of their high school outside of Canada, if they are concerned about what that's going to look like with their application, if they have questions about meeting our English language proficiency requirements, I am their person, and I am delighted to help them as well. A little bit about me. I am a graduate from the University of Windsor from many years ago. I also now have two grown children that are both graduates from the University of Windsor, and both of them have really great careers in their fields of study. And I can say this school has done incredible things for me and my family, and I just know it's going to do wonderful things for our future students as well. So for those that are not familiar of where we're located, we are in the southernmost part of Canada, kind of on that same longitude as Northern California. And one of those, the benefits of that region is our weather. We have some of the mildest weather in Canada, with about 7 months of short sleeve weather every single year. We are a safe place to live, with 5 of the 10 safest communities in Canada right in our region, and we are a very affordable place to live. The cost of living in Windsor is much less than big cities, but one of the best things I think about the University of Windsor, or the region of Windsor, is our location. And as you can see, we are within a day's drive of many other metropolitan hubs in North America. We have over 200 million people living within a 12-hour drive of us, and I think that this really makes us a gateway to North America. So some fun facts about the University of Windsor. We are one of the oldest in Canada. We were founded in 1857. We are the only university in our region, so that means that our graduates are in high demand with local employers. Recently, on the QS World Rankings, we were rated in the top 5% of world universities, and we are number 7 in Canada among the non-medical universities. One most recent ranking that I haven't included on this slide yet is that in the Times Higher Education Rankings, we moved up 100 spaces this year. So that is big news for us, and really speaks to how the University of Windsor is a rising star in the post-secondary education. Like our city, we are a mid-sized university of about 17,000 students. Almost a quarter of our student population are from outside of Canada, representing 95 different countries across the world. We are really proud of our low class, or our small class sizes, and our average class size is 26 students to every 1 instructor, which means you're more than just a face in the crowd or a name on somebody's list. You'll make meaningful connections with your professors, as well as bond with your classmates. And our students have ranked us a leader in the services and supports that we provide to our students. And students can find this support from 75 different offices on our campus. Anything from academic supports to wellness supports to career supports, and which is one of the many reasons why over 95% of our students are employed within 6 months of finishing their program. Okay, so really quickly we'll go through just our agenda today. We'll share a quick land acknowledgement, introducing some of the supports and services. So for the students that are following along in the audience, are following along with the view book, or those of you in the room today, if you'd like to follow along, the presentation from here on out is divided into 3 separate sections. The first section will talk about all the different supports for student life. We'll then go into talking about some of the academic programs and faculties, and then we'll cover for this next steps if students want to get started on becoming a member of the University of Windsor family. So at this juncture, we do like to acknowledge that the University of Windsor sits on the traditional territories of the Three Fires Confederacy of First Nations, comprised of the Ojibwa, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi. And in making this land acknowledgement, we recognize our obligation to continue to do the work to address systemic and historic injustices. So one of the many ways that we help our students thrive is by helping them find their circle of people, or finding that group of people on campus that are just like them. By their classrooms, study groups, and discussions. These are ways to not just excel academically, but for students to form bonds with their classmates. If students choose to live in residence, which we'll talk about in just a moment, they are going to be able to live with others that are going through some of the same things that they are going through. By getting involved in extracurricular activities, we have over 150 clubs and societies on campus. So if students are into sports or gaming or volunteering or maybe studying a different language, there is a group on campus that is waiting for them to join. And as I mentioned, living in residence, we know that living with others is a crucial life skill. And in our residence buildings, oftentimes for students that are coming to us, this is their first time living away from the family home, and maybe their first step towards independence as a young adult. And what better way to explore that independence than in a safe environment that's supportive not just of their academic performance, but also their personal development as well. And there's a strong sense of community within our living and learning communities that we have in our residence buildings. And as first-year students coming directly to us from high school, they are guaranteed a room in our residence if they apply by the deadline of June the 3rd. And after the first year of staying in residence, they are welcome to come back and stay in their upper years as long as they're a registered student. So currently we have 3 residence buildings on campus, about 700 rooms in total, all of these putting our students right at the heart of our campus and just steps away from classes, the fitness center, the library, and fun activities. And with living in residence, our students are also going to be purchasing a meal plan, and that can be used at any cafeteria, restaurant, or vending machine on campus. There's also several restaurants off campus that take the meal plan as well, and it can be customized to fit any dietary restrictions. So if our students have a food allergy, or if they're vegetarian or seeking halal options, we can make a meal plan that fits for them. And as I mentioned, our support services from 75 different offices. Just to give you a few examples, at the heart of any support system is a comprehensive academic support system. And I mentioned, professors, teaching assistants, academic advisors, and writing support desks. They're all here to answer questions, give our students some guidance, and help them excel in their studies. So whether it's mastering a difficult subject or students getting started on writing their very first research paper, we have got them supported here. In terms of wellness, we offer a range of individual and group counseling services and wellness programming to support our students' emotional journey with us. On campus, we have a doctor, a dentist, a pharmacist, even a chiropractor, and a massage therapist, because your physical and emotional health are our priority. Looking ahead to your future, our career services team is here to bridge that gap between school and employment. They will help our students write a resume, practice their interviewing skills, and offer networking events to connect with future potential employers. Students coming to us, we also have our accessibility services team here that are able to provide academic accommodations for all students to ensure that everybody has equitable access to education. And as I mentioned, we're a very diverse campus. And so we have our International Student Center that is here to support our international students with making that transition to Canada, getting them settled into their new life at the University of Windsor. They organize a lot of different activities and social events. They administer the health and dental plans for our students. They administer or organize the international exchange programs, and we also offer a multi-faith space where students, staff, and faculty can go to practice religious observance in any religion of their choice. So this again speaks to how we embrace and celebrate the diversity of our campus community. Okay, so athletics and recreation, getting involved is not just going to lift you up, in terms of your physical activity, but this is also a great way for students to make new friends. So we have a strong tradition of varsity sports on our campus. So if students are a seasoned athlete, or maybe they're just a dedicated fan, they can join one of our varsity teams or cheer them on from the bleachers as they compete at the highest level. If our students aren't into varsity sports, that's okay. We offer intramural leagues, anywhere from soccer to ultimate frisbee. There's lots of great ways for students to make new friends and play for fun. If sports isn't their thing, we also have a range of fitness classes that cater to all different fitness levels, from yoga to mixed martial arts to Zumba. Our students can find a class that fits their preferences and their schedule. And finally, Lancer Gaming is home of esports at the University of Windsor. And this is where we compete against hundreds of other colleges and universities across North America in Valorant, League of Legends, and Rocket League. And we are very proud of our brand new Toldo Lancer Center, which I don't think we have the sound on actually, so I might not be able to play those videos without the sound. But yeah, we just celebrated the first anniversary of the opening of our Toldo Lancer Center. But to just give you an idea of what students can expect from this, we have a brand new state-of-the-art fitness center, an Olympic-sized pool, indoor and outdoor running tracks. And staying fit and active has never been more convenient for our students. And again, access to this building is included in our students' fees, so they can use a lot of these facilities free of charge while they are students here with us. Okay, so as I might have mentioned this already, but one of the other many ways that we help our students thrive is by helping them to do new things hands-on so that they're ready for the working world. And this is really going to be that rocket that launches their career. First of all, research. Our university is a hotbed of innovation and discovery. We have more undergraduate students doing research than at any other university in Ontario. So whether the students are delving into the sciences or engineering or humanities or the arts, they will have a chance to make groundbreaking discoveries and contribute to real-world solutions. Picture students being able to get hands-on paid work experience while they're still in school. Our co-op and our internship programs can do exactly that. So students get to work with industry leaders, take what they're learning in the classroom and applying it to a real-world setting, and oftentimes they get their first job offers before they even graduate. Our students can broaden their horizons and experience the world through our international exchange programs. They can study at one of over 50 universities in I think 21 different countries, and give themselves that global perspective that is going to set them apart in today's interconnected world. All right, so here is where we're going to go through and explore all of our programs. And I always like to preface this by saying that we have almost 200 undergraduate programs at the University of Windsor. So I can't possibly talk about all of them right now. But instead what I'll do is I'll talk about each of the different faculties that we have, share some highlights and some general admission requirements. And this is where I encourage those that are following along in the view book to take note of some of the pages where we've got QR codes that are interspersed throughout. And this is where students can go to our website and they can learn more about the different programs that they're interested in. Just in terms of some general admission requirements, all of our programs require students to have their grade 12 or their high school diploma with a grade point average of between a 70 to 75%, depending on the program that they want to apply to. This is per Ontario standards. And this is taken from their top 6 grade 12 courses. In terms of coursework, all of our programs require our students to have a grade 12 English course, And then depending on which program they're interested in, they might also need their maths or their sciences. And for international students that have not studied in Canada for at least 3 years, they will be required to provide proof of English proficiency. So that's usually an IELTS of 6.5 overall. We also accept the Duolingo, the TOEFL, CALE, MELAB, PTE, many of those standardized language tests. So we'll dive right in. So our Odette School of Business, if our students are interested in becoming an accountant or working on the Toronto Stock Exchange or becoming their own boss, our business school is internationally accredited with the AACSB. Only 5%, 10% of all the business schools in the world have this accreditation. So that means that our students are getting an internationally recognized degree that is going to be recognized anywhere in the world. And our business administration program does have a co-op option. Students can choose from one of 7 different specializations, so accounting, data analytics, finance, human resources, a few others. And then we also have some unique opportunities where students can combine their degree in business and do a double major with computer science, economics, mathematics, psychology, political science, or women and gender studies. So get 2 majors in just 4 years. Our Faculty of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. This is our biggest faculty. It also has the biggest name. So we call this FAST for short. And getting into these FAST programs means that students can really create their own degree and tailor it to their own unique interests. So let's just say a student has always been interested in studying psychology but really enjoys history as well too. Why not combine them and do a double major? So in the Faculty of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences, we have 3 clusters of programs, which I'll talk to briefly. We have the Creative and Performing Arts, we have the Humanities and Cultures, and we have the Social Sciences and Professional Studies. Before I get into those, though, I do want to just make sure that you're aware, we are now offering co-op in 10 of our FAST programs. This is brand new this year. And so students that are applying to join the University of Windsor next year will be the first group of students that can apply directly to the co-op stream for some of these programs. And this is the list of major employers in our region that have already made an agreement with the University of Windsor to take our students for co-op. So the Creative and Performing Arts is the first cluster, and this is where you're going to find programs in visual arts and dramatic arts and acting and music. And in this cluster of programs, 60% of the class time is going to be spent in the studio creating things. Next, we have the Humanities and Cultures for students that are interested in delving into the past and the present and maybe thinking critically about the future. Here's where you're going to find English, creative writing, French, modern languages, philosophy. And in this cluster of programs, we have 34 different exchange opportunities available. And finally, the Social Sciences and Professional Studies for students that like to study why we behave the way we do, or maybe becoming an advocate for social justice. And here's where you're going to find psychology, sociology, criminology, social work, women and gender studies. One of our unique programs is our Aeronautic Leadership program that allows students to earn their bachelor's degree in liberal arts, at the same time earning their commercial pilot's license. And this program gets them into the pilot seat 2 weeks into the start of their program. And in this cluster program, we have had over 200 students publish original research. Okay, our Faculty of Education. So perhaps a student's passion is teaching. Our concurrent education program allows our students to earn 2 degrees in just 5 years. They will study their academic subject and at the same time be working towards their teaching qualification. They will get a lot of meaningful exposure to teaching through their service learning, really valuable internship experiences, often working with vulnerable and also international populations. And our university is one of the few that offers the IB, the International Baccalaureate certification. So our teacher candidates that have that IB certification can teach at IB schools throughout the world. Our Faculty of Engineering, here's where our students are really going to engineer their future. And we offer programs in civil, electrical and computer, environmental, industrial, and mechanical engineering. All of these have a co-op option, so students can still finish their degree in 4 years, even with 2 full terms of co-op placement. Our engineering program, in their first year, students will all take the same general first year courses. After that, going into your second year, that's when you start to specialize. But the cool thing about the University of Windsor is that you do not have to compete for entry into your specialization after first year. Our Faculty of Human Kinetics, this is what Maclean's Magazine has actually called these our standout programs. And here's where we offer 2 majors. We have kinesiology or movement science. This studies how the body works, how to get it to work at its best. It's one of the many great pathways towards medical and professional careers. And then we also have our sports management and leadership program, which studies the business sides of the sporting industry for students that want to be a professional sports coach or represent a sporting team. Both of these programs have a co-op option available. We also have our Kin 1 program, which is a mentorship program that pairs brand new first year students with an upper year mentor that will help to guide them throughout their first year of study. Our Faculty of Law, now this is what we call a professional or a second entry degree, which means that students will have to get an undergraduate degree first before they can go to law school. But the great thing about our law school is that any undergraduate degree can qualify you for law school. We have students in our law school that have engineering degrees and science degrees and arts degrees. We also have a very unique dual law program that is offered in collaboration with the University of Detroit Mercy in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan in the United States, and graduates from that program are able to practice law in both of those countries, both Canada and the United States. We are also the first university in Canada to incorporate Indigenous law into our curriculum. Our Faculty of Nursing, and this is one of the many ways in which we're really leading the profession. For our nursing students, clinical placement begins in the second term of their very first year. So right away they're taking what they're learning in class and applying it in a hospital or a healthcare setting. They're working in our simulation labs with high fidelity mannequins that mimic all the functions of humans. They blink, they breathe, they have a pulse. And at the end of this 4-year program, students will write the NCLEX, that's the National Licensing Exam, in order to practice as a registered nurse in Ontario. Last year, 97% of our students passed on the first try. That is one of the highest pass rates in Ontario. So again, we are really preparing our students to meet the rigorous demands of practicing as a registered nurse. And our last faculty is the Faculty of Science. And here is where we have over 70% of our undergraduate students doing research with their faculty members. So by doing so, they're getting mentorship from their professors. They're making groundbreaking discoveries. For students that want to pursue medical or professional schools, this is a great thing for them to put on their medical school applications, especially if they're getting published as an undergraduate student, because this is really going to set them apart in a very, very competitive field. All right, so we've talked about all the great programs and majors and minors and faculties and whatnot. Students' first question is probably going to be, how much is this going to cost? So we provided with a bit of a range here because it is going to vary depending on the program, depending on the student's status as international or domestic. But one thing I also like to encourage students to consider is not just the cost of tuition, but also your incidental fees, which are going to include, for international students, their OHIP equivalent, so their health insurance, as well as their drug and dental plan and a universal bus pass. But they also want to include all their living expenses, their meal plan, their textbooks. So preparing a really well-rounded budget and financial plan is really going to make for an easier university experience. One thing I like to speak to as well is our International Student Tuition Guarantee Program that is unique to the University of Windsor. And this ensures our international students have a fixed tuition rate for the expected duration of their program. So if a student joins us next September, whatever the tuition is at that time will not change. So if the university's tuition rates go up the following year, it doesn't impact our students. This is one of the ways in which we're committed to really making this an economically viable option for our international students. So next question is going to be, okay, so how am I going to be able to pay for this? And again, we can help our students. Our open entrance scholarships are a testament to our commitment, again, to making education for our international students affordable and rewarding hard work. These really are outstanding for a number of different reasons. First of all, these are automatic. That means as soon as a student applies for admission, they're also being considered for these scholarships. No extra applications, no additional stress, because their hard work in high school is already putting them in the running for this. Second of all, these are generous because, again, we believe in rewarding hard work. And depending on a student's grade point average, they can earn anywhere from $1,000 to a whopping $4,000 per year. And finally, these are a sign of our commitment and our confidence in our students' potential, because we see the hard work and the late nights of study and the dedication that brings them right to this moment. We believe in them and we want to invest in their future. On top of these scholarships, we offer almost 140 other awards, and the University of Windsor gives out over $13 million in scholarships every single year. That means 1 in 4 students on our campus receives a scholarship. Okay, so I hope that by now our students and our audience are able to see how eager we are to have them join us. These next few slides are their guide to getting into the University of Windsor. So, first step is research. Research is going to be your best friend right now. Make sure that you check out the academic requirements for your program. Make sure that you're choosing the right courses in high school, that you're working closely with your guidance counselors or with myself to make sure that you understand and are meeting those the requirements for the program that you want to study. For our students that are in grade 12 and want to apply for next year, applications are open, so students can apply now. The deadline to do so is January the 15th of next year, but students that apply now can be considered for early admission. The next step, step number 3, is rather important. About a day or 2 after a student applies, they will get an email from us assigning them a student number and giving them instructions to access their student portal, which we call UInsight Student. And this is where students can track their application status. They can see any tasks that might have been assigned or any requests for more information. They can also complete their awards application before they're even admitted, so they have an idea of what kind of scholarships they might be eligible for. And then steps 4 and 5 are really easy. If they're coming from an Ontario high school, then their guidance counselors will automatically forward a copy of their transcripts. For our international students, you will have to work with your guidance counselor to obtain a copy of your current transcript and submit it through your UInsight student portal. And once you've done all those tasks, you can just sit back, keep an eye on your application, and wait to hear from us. Okay, so some important upcoming dates. We do have, again, we've a reminder here of the application deadline, which is January the 15th. June 3rd would be the last day for students to accept their offer and apply for their guaranteed spot in residence. We also have a number of different events that are coming up as well, where we are inviting and encouraging students to engage with us. And one of them, which I don't see on here, is our virtual open day, which is going to be on Thursday, December the 7th. That's going to be from 8 in the morning until 1 o'clock p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. So this is where students can go to our website, future.uwindsor.ca, and there will be a pop-up there for students to register for virtual open day. You can connect with myself, some of the members of our international team, some faculty members, and different support areas on campus. And first and foremost, we would also encourage students to either visit us in person for a tour or book a virtual tour. And you can do that in the URL here to get an idea of the layout of our beautiful Riverside campus, see all the wonderful green spaces, facilities, and libraries. Second of all, connect with our student ambassadors. So we have a number of different students from all different programs in all areas of the world that are on chat. They use a chat called Unibuddy, and they're excited to talk about their experience, some of their tips for success, and what it's really like being part of the University of Windsor community. And finally, we want our audience to follow us on social media to stay up to date on all the great things happening on our campus and in our community. And lastly, we are encouraging students, if they want to talk more about this, there's a QR code on my screen that students can scan right now and share their information. So this way we can continue the conversation and look for ways in which we can help our students and our audience to get started with us. And by sharing that information, we are putting you into a draw for weekly prizes, as well as a grand prize draw for free tuition next year, should the students choose to come to the University of Windsor. So that's everything for now. Thank you so much.
Okay, is there any questions?
Yeah, I actually have a question. For
Yes.
international students who are currently not in Canada, do you require all the transcript from grade 9 until grade 12, or you only?
Yeah, it's ideal. They mainly look at the grade 11 and 12 grades, but most transcripts include all those grades as well too. So we encourage to submit all of them.
Are you looking at the Huikao and Gaokao, the university entrance exam in China? Those results?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I'd have to double check because,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's all the questions I have.
You have a question?
So what's the else score for the nursing program?
6.5, but you also have to have, I think, a 65% in grade 12 English for the nursing
Only
program.
6.5
Yeah.
for nursing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Overall.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's good.